Okay. Oh, is that what changed maybe? So we should be live. Yeah. We're live now, I think again. I yes. All right, we're live from the PC. But I think it's streaming to two different restream channels is the issue. Maybe that's why we couldn't force it. Okay, yeah. So I see what's going on now. Let me change something on the phone settings before I forget. Oh, I can save the stream. It looks like I can save the streams on my phone. So we'll knit this all together later. Settings. I need to change the settings though. We want to copy paste the different stream key. I think the RMTP server is the same, but we want to copy paste a different stream key. So we're going to do this stream key. Because Restream has this thing where you have multiple events. Okay. So now it might allow us to force switch between the two, but I'm not sure yet. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a moment and eat some food. We're not going to switch out of IRL because technically this is what I'm doing in real life, you know? Is the okay, I didn't even check to make sure the mic was on. We're going to I didn't turn all the lights on or anything. We should do that. Plugs over here. I can't see it because it's black. There we go. All right. So we're going to make some food real quick, and then I'll be right back down. I am absolutely starving, and I need to keep working on this painting, but I want to wait and let that first trim coat dry first. Real quick, we're going to do a round of combat in my Star Wars role playing game just to farm XP, beating my droid in my cockpit. I actually don't have my staff with me. I left it back somewhere in one of my other ships. So instead of uh, beating the droid with the staff, I'm just punching it with my fists because my fists are that hard that I can just crush metal with them. I wish. Okay, I'm actually getting a headache from not eating yet today, besides a breakfast sandwich this morning. So I'm gonna go make some food real quick. I'll be right back and we'll react to whatever the fuck is going on the internet. The Switch 2 technically a brick. I don't know if we want to see any of these. Maybe that one. We'll refresh the page once we get down. I guess technically I need to watch these because if I don't, I hate that YouTube does this. If I don't watch my own streams and stuff, then it's going to push it down the algorithm, right? Because YouTube takes that as a sign that people aren't clicking on it. It's so frustrating. YouTube is the most frustrating of all the platforms to stream on, to be honest. I like Kick the best, which is weird that I say that. I used to like Twitch the best, but Twitch is the Titanic of streaming services right now. Y'all should be heading to the lifeboats. That's all I'm saying. I'll be right back with some food. It's gonna be quick. I'm just making hot dogs. I'm also gonna turn the Alright guys, I'm back. Normally, I'm so hungry. Normally I eat way earlier than this because we start the stream like between 4 and 7. 8 now. So we're gonna get some food in me so I have the fuel to keep painting. And while we do that, we're gonna commentate on some stuff. This whole basement just smells kind of like cat piss right now, which is not very appetizing. But the smell of the hot dogs should replace that in a moment, and the smell of the Coke too. Let's refresh, see if we can. Dude, it's just half me. It's half me. It's two different channels. It's 1/3 me. And I have to click on them. Otherwise, the damn YouTube algorithms are going to be like, oh, nobody wants to watch this. And it's going to stop showing it to people. Alright. So we'll just leave those up there to run in the background. Chef Who Trained, I've heard about that. I've heard that like he makes Chef Ramsay seem like a really balanced, nice guy. Angriest plane passenger ever. I want something like in a Tozy video to come. Oh, actually I wanted to watch this. Crypto kidnapping. We already have that up there. This is a previous stream, I think. Yeah, we already watched half that. We let YouTube algorithm know people wanted to see that. And by people, I mean me. Oh, I still want to watch that. That's an old video. Let's just, yeah. So let's watch this guy first. Crypto kidnapping is truly insane. Do I have the right sound setting? I do not. All right, now I do. Let's go watch this.
We're talking about one of the craziest stories I've seen in my life.
Really?
Which is the developing story of a 28-year-old crypto investor who was tortured for weeks in a ritzy 8-bedroom townhouse by being electrocuted with wires, beaten with a gun, and was forced to smoke drugs, all to extort cryptocurrency from him.
That's
supposedly
insane.
The prosecutors and police say. Apparently, he was
Weeks.
also held out the window of like the 5th story. It's like Batman was interrogating him for his crypto. Now already, that sounds crazy enough. Netflix, HBO, all the docu-series guys are lining up to get a piece of this thing. But then it gets crazier because you go, well, that's just allegations, right? That's just allegations. Well, apparently, the police searched the townhouse and recovered a saw, cocaine, chicken wire, body armor, night vision goggles, ballistic helmets, and firearms and ammunitions. And get this, they allegedly found Polaroid photos of the kidnapped man with a gun to his head and t-shirts printed with photos of the kidnapped man with a cocaine pipe in his mouth.
That's insane.
Monetization. Look, apparently the kidnappers left proof. I mean, it's like they didn't even want the police to rely on the word of the guy they went after. Apparently, they left all the evidence strewn around the house. This is like the easiest Sherlock Holmes game of your life. Now, I would argue that makes this more strange, not less. Mm-hmm. What kind of criminals are like taking photos as they're doing it?
Idiots.
Maybe it's for some
Fucking
extortion
idiots.
reason. They planned on.
I'm sure.
Saying, you
I'm
better
sure
not
it was
tell,
extortion.
Or we're gonna release these photos of the crimes we did.
These guys literally. Oh shit, we're watching on the wrong. We're screwing up the algorithm. No wonder we were getting weird stuff. Were we watching on? No, we were watching on the regular one. Weird, but is this one on the wrong one? Let me get all these tabs loaded on the right account. Okay, there we go. That's so.
We're talking about one of the craziest stories I've seen. Weird. Okay, they're taking pictures.
They're idiots. They're just self-reported. Like, people don't think of the consequences when they do this shit. They just wanted the money, and they were like, well, how do we get the guy's money? By embarrassing him and showing it to the world. But they didn't realize that they were also just recording their crimes for the world. So now all they need to do is connect those people to that evidence, and it's just, they're totally fucked.
It doesn't make sense. Then you really have
Ow.
to think about the T-shirts, okay? Because we forgot about that. It's one thing to, take Polaroid photos because I guess you want to humiliate this guy, whatever. We're going to tell your family if you don't give us your Bitcoin. But you have T-shirts printed with the... I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. It's just, to me,
Yeah.
that... I mean,
The T-shirts is kind of insane.
But why? You know how long it takes to get a T-shirt made? Like, that's 2 of the 3 weeks right there. They had to start that process up.
No, it doesn't take that long at all. You can just like upload a fucking image to a lot of printers and they'll just like send it to you in less than a week, a couple days sometimes.
It's almost like planting evidence against yourself. It doesn't make any sense. And what are they doing? Like, is that for like swag? Like to remember you by? Here's a little souvenir. Again, it's dark. I don't mean to make light of it. It's a horrible thing. And the guy has been in the hospital. So clearly there are serious, it's not just like a figment of his imagination. They really found, allegedly, some of these weapons and all this kind of stuff. But I'm just looking at the story going,
what if all the evidence is manufactured? The T-shirts just sound kind of insane. The T-shirts make me think there's no chance of it being manufactured. But also, they're kind of strange to the point that it makes you wonder if they're manufactured. I'm thinking, not intentionally. What if it's like a mental illness thing, like a Fight Club thing, where he was being tortured, but it was actually him legitimately torturing himself?
how does this...
Sorry, we're not supposed to talk about that. I didn't say anything.
Now, what's weirder? John Waltz, the guy they actually caught, first of all, okay, I'm just going to say this guy, I don't know who took photos of him, but he looks like he's on a crime documentary. Just the way, you got to see this picture. You're thinking, don't be like that, Stephen. Look at these photos. I mean, dude, this guy, he did it. No, I'm joking. But look, what's weird about it is his family or relatives have since come out, according to the press, and said he was set up. There's no way he would do this, right? There's no way. Okay, of course, like anyone's gonna say that.
Yeah,
But
the
what's weird is
family's
you look at
always
his
going to
life,
say that.
and it is a little strange. So he is, like I said, supposedly worth $100 million. But the only thing I can find online about him, and anyone can find online so far, has been that he was a security auditor for something called Grin, which is a privacy-focused cryptocurrency. Now, think about that for a moment. Walk with me as we think about what this implies. If you've ever been around a privacy-focused guy, these guys are paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
So this paranoid guy, paranoid of being caught doing anything, like paranoid of buying groceries, okay?
Excuse me.
The main mastermind, supposedly, worth $100 million, kidnaps a guy for $30 million and takes photos of it all and leaves it at the crime scene. The privacy-focused guy takes photos of what he did. Okay, okay, all right. That's weird. Now, some might argue, and I am sympathetic to this, that a lot of these privacy coins are not always involved in, but sometimes some of the people are affiliated with crime. That's one great use of privacy coins, is to conceal crime. There are legitimate reasons to need privacy. There's also, you could be money laundering. Maybe that's where he got his money. I don't know. But I'm just saying, for somebody who's...
I think privacy is just something people have a right to. Is privacy going to be used for evil? Yes, but it's also going to be used for good too. So you can't just deny privacy off the excuse that some people are going to use it to do evil. Because if you deny privacy, then evil is going to prevent good as well. Because evil is what really benefits from a lack of privacy. Because good will leave you be. Evil will never leave you alone, right? Evil wants to reach into your bank account, wants to reach into your wallet, wants to reach into your browsing history and know everything about you so it can manipulate and control you. Good doesn't really give a fuck. Good doesn't care. Good is like, well, it's your soul. As long as you don't hurt anyone else. Oh, well. And the whole complaint about cryptocurrency being used for crime, that energy drink's boiling up now. I could taste the watermelon. The whole cryptocurrency is used for crime thing, that's the dumbest argument I've heard. Because people say that like normal, regular cash isn't used for crime. Like, what the fuck? I'm not talking about CoffeeZilla here specifically. Like, he kind of seems to agree with me. But, like, privacy coins don't inherently make it bad. But people do use privacy coins to do bad things. But people use cash to do bad things. People use credit cards to do bad things, which is really dumb because then there's an electronic trail of it. But still, any type of money is going to have dirt attached to it. So saying, oh, people do dirt with crypto. Yeah, people do dirt with all currency. People do dirt for fucking cigarettes. So I'm not worried about that. Let their own soul worry about it, you know?
Like, and I went through some of his blog posts last night. He has a whole GitHub that I was looking at. He's got a Keybase profile I was looking at. A lot of the things he was worried about was just like security, privacy. He was like a nerd. He doesn't strike me as the type. I'm not saying he wouldn't do it. This could be some Second Life thing. I don't know. But
maybe he had a psychological break.
It's pretty weird. Again, something is a little strange about this whole thing. Now, also of note, Waltz was apparently caught.
It makes sense too, though, because now we're just in total speculation here, but like, why would someone set him up? Well, if he's a security focused crypto editor, he probably either denied some criminal or exposed some criminal or shut down some criminal. I mean, not probably, but possibly trying to exploit the token that he was working on, or a token he was working on, and they might want revenge or figure if they're going to go and kidnap this person, and obviously the cops are going to want to find out who it was, why not pin it on one of their enemies, right?
In a bathrobe.
Or maybe it's a competitor.
Now, why is that relevant? Well, just think of it. So the story is of like how this guy got away was that he was finally he said, I'm going to give you my Bitcoin. And again, this is according to the press, okay? But the guy goes to retrieve the laptop to give him the laptop to put in his Bitcoin password, and the guy bolts, right? He leaves, finds a traffic cop, and is like all bloodied, and then from there, I guess they call it in, and the SWAT team comes. The SWAT team, or the people who arrest Waltz, find him in a bathroom. Why is that weird? Well, number one, you're in the middle of your give me your Bitcoin session in a bathrobe, okay? I mean, it's just odd. This whole story doesn't, I'm not gonna say it doesn't make sense, but it's odd, okay? So that is one option. The other option is after your kidnapped victim leaves, you go, this has been exhausting, time to draw a bath. How else do you get in the bathrobe? Okay? Where does the bathrobe come from? And why, when the guy escapes, do you not change into, you would think you'd be like hurried to get out of the house or like run or, you know, does that make sense? Like, it's just odd. You clean up your pictures.
It could just be mental illness and stupidity too.
No, the guy just apparently was caught in a bathrobe. You can see him right here. I mean, this is not, it's strange. This is a compromise.
So it kind of makes sense, right? Because I don't know how good quality of a bathrobe that is, but bathrobes are kind of expendable, right? It's just you can have a million bathrobes that all look the same. So, two things. One, you're not like three things. It's just like a useful thing, right? You're not going outside if you're like probably just keeping watch on torturing someone. So, uh, you don't need to put on any kind of appearances, right? It's probably just a wake up, put the thing on, get to it. If you like get some blood on the bathrobe, beating the fuck out of him, or like uh, char the edges, messing with electricity or something, it doesn't matter because it's not your regular clothes. You can just burn it or throw it out later. Uh, which was uh, the third thing actually, and the second thing, which I kind of skipped over, was like the dude was just maybe hard chilling, you know? If the guy was there for weeks, he probably got into a bit of a comfortable routine where he would wake up and have to deal with this bullshit all day. Wasn't going outside, wasn't doing anything except for just messing with this dude to get the crypto out of him, and no reason to put a bunch of effort to get dressed to do that, you know? He doesn't need to put on any appearances for that guy. The guy knows what's up. So, I don't know. It's one of those things where if you need to go steal something from someone and threaten them to get it from them, you're clearly a low effort individual instead of just going out and getting the bag for yourself, you know? So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the guy and it's not some kind of setup or weird coincidence, that I wouldn't be surprised if this guy were just approaching everything in his life like that. And now some people are saying some of those security minded folks, those security minded paranoid people aren't low effort individuals. That's not necessarily true. People like that will often hyper focus on security and spend so much time being paranoid that they have little time or energy for anything else. And the rest of their life fall apart because they're just only doing the bare minimum in every other area because all they care about is security, privacy, paranoia type bullshit.
Amazing outfit to be wearing if you know or suspect you are going to be arrested, as this guy should have suspected when his victim runs out of the house and, you know,
maybe it's just a 200 IQ move where it's like, oh, if I put on a bathrobe, no one will believe I did it.
You know, maybe one explanation is that they just are like the cops were right there and they just swooped in. But again, why was he in that in the first place? It's just weird. Now, John Waltz, besides the two butlers who apparently were present or were at the house or something, okay, there were also two other people. John Waltz has an assistant who is like an actress or something, and she insists she had nothing to do with it. There's also this Swedish executive who is somehow involved. But what's really weird about this
just keeps getting fucking weirder.
Surrendering himself to the police.
There's like 5 people involved, but none of them knew anything about it or said anything about it. What does the victim say? Does the victim say it was this guy that was arrested or not?
But after his vacation in the Hamptons. So this is odd. This is from the New York Post. There's a third person tied to the case, the Swiss trader, whose sources have told reach out to the police, said he would surrender this week, but not before he enjoys the Hamptons for Memorial Day. So part of this story is that there's a Swedish trader, okay, that's his other assistant, who's just chilling in the Hamptons and calls the cop like 911. Hey, I'm the guy, but can you let me finish my Mai Tai? I'm just saying there's going to be more that comes out in this case. I know that for a fact.
What is going on?
Again, I'm not saying this didn't happen because there's apparently just evidence of all of it laying around the house. I think all of it happened, if that's true. I just think there's details we are missing very clearly. It's just a strange thing. I also feel like, you know, in different of these articles, they mention like different little details, and each detail is like shocking. In this New York Post article, for example, the Italian national was tied to a chair and tasered while his feet were in a bucket of water, pistol whipped, and had his arms and legs cut with a chainsaw. I mean, this is insane. This is like a fictional. If you wrote this in a fictional book, you'd go, well, this is unrealistic. No way all this is going to happen. It is like, and again, feel terrible for the victim of all this, but it is like a made-for-TV special. But if you just think about it, who's involved here? You know, some privacy-focused guy is taking a bunch of photos of, you know, it's just weird. Not putting it past them. People are crazy, whatever. But yeah, it's very odd. Now, I also want to bring attention to the fact that this is also why. One, if you're a really rich crypto guy, you should probably not let anyone know about it, because there are people who will do similar things.
Yes,
Polaroids, but
absolutely.
do similar things to this. You had the case of the.
You should
Twitch
never
streamer
let
got
anyone
attacked
know if
for
you
her
have money.
crypto in Houston. You also have recently, very dangerous, Coinbase got hacked, and a lot of people's private information was leaked. The real problem is for whales, obviously, the big money, because now a lot of private details, including their full names,
I'm pretty sure I have less than like $3 on Coinbase. There was like a little money I had on Coinbase for a while, because I never really put money through Coinbase. I used a different exchange, but Coinbase had a thing for a while where you could get free crypto by watching these crypto introduction videos, and then they'd give you like $5 or $10 of that coin or whatever. And eventually I sold all of it, because when I first fell on hard times, I just needed every penny I could get. And there's still going to be a tiny bit left there, though, because you could only, there were like small increments that were too small to sell. So there, I probably have like 3 cents in crypto on Coinbase, depending on how much those coins have gone up or down, you know? But at least the people that hacked in and stole the personal information will know not to come after me, because I don't have any crypto for them to go after.
That is extremely dangerous. I mean, this is one of the downsides of crypto. All it takes is, you know, it's called the wrench attack. You know, you've solved all these cryptography problems, but the wrench attack remains very effective. And it's actually very serious. I mean, it's a very scary thing. So that is real. That happens. I'm not doubting a lot of the story. There's just little pieces, though, that I'm like, why? Why was he in a bathroom? Why did they take Polaroid data? I think we're going to find out more about this. And also, what's also weird to me is just like, we've never heard
the T-shirts is the weird thing.
History, there's no businesses we can connect them to that would suggest they would have $100 million. In the case of the Crypto King of Kentucky, there's these other guys got $30 million. You know, there are rich traders everywhere, but it's a lot of money for no one to have any idea of how they got it. It's just,
I think that's how a lot of people move.
So yeah, that's basically, I want to get you up to speed, because I want to cover this in the future. When new details come out, this Swedish executive, who is he? You know, what was really going on here? I would love to know, but I wanted to highlight some of the strange pieces of this case, so over time we can decide. Maybe it was just a weird case. Maybe this guy was weird. I don't know. Or was it, is there something else that makes this make sense? Either way, I'm sure we will be inundated with crime dramas, all that kind of stuff about this story, because it just seems like there's so much here to it. But one of the most fascinating cases I've seen in a very long time for a lot of reasons.
I'm not surprised at all that we've never heard of these guys' names before, because here's the thing. Quite often, the real movers and shakers, you will never know their names because they're smart enough to stay out of the spotlight. Being in the spotlight puts a target on your back, right? Like, if people know you have 100 million in crypto, they want to take that from you. If they don't know, if they think you're just some random dude that owns a truck tart company and that's it, like, they're going to be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go after this investment banker instead. But you know what? Truck tart companies make a lot of money. And I'm not saying that, like, I'm talking more on higher levels than that too. But just because the guy only owns a truck tart company doesn't mean that's the only thing he's doing. There could be 5 different businesses he has, and the truck tart company sounds the least likely to attract attention, but it also makes enough money that it kind of explains, it's like, oh yeah, dude gets a bag, that's why he has a nice house. But really, he's got loads more than that stashed away somewhere, from owning real estate, from consulting, God knows what. I'm pretty sure most of the richest people in the world, we actually don't know their names. Because if you're that smart with money, unless you're a celebrity by nature and that's how you got your money, then you're not bringing the spotlight on you. You're doing everything you can to avoid it. All right. So that was, we're going to switch back to the phone real quick and continue doing painting. I want to see if I can get the phone, now that they're streaming to the same stream key, to actually take over. I have a spot on my back that's been bothering me. I'm just massaging it real quick. Oh. Now I remember what I wanted to say. There was a point earlier that I wanted to say at the end of the video, and now I remember. I'm pretty sure that there's just like a vessel or something that opened up somewhere that let all of these demons out into the world, because we've seen just absolute insane people going off. What is it? I will eviscerate you with my intellect or something like that. Intelligence. This guy.
I have everything right here and it's all been falsified.
Eric Conover had a lot to say before his arraignment this afternoon.
If anyone dares try to test my mental competence, I will eviscerate every single person with my intelligence right now. And that's not being egotistical.
Police paperwork says the pursuit.
Like, that man has demons. Demons. And people want to know how we're seeing like these, well, people meaning CoffeeZilla wants to know how we're seeing these like B-movie murder plots or B-movie horror movies play out in real life. I think it's because something is happening in the world where like actual evil is just infecting people. So y'all need to be vigilant. All right? We're going to attempt to switch the phone and see what happens here. Random people want to send me a message on Instagram and it's like some troll bot account by the look of the name. It's just random letters and numbers. I'm sure it's some troll account. All right. Let's open the app. Let's try hitting go live and see what happens. It looks like, am I just live twice? Is that what's going on? Let me see if, no, it looks like it's still the old version. Does the PC stream just always override the phone stream? Transmission is unstable due to a weak network connection. I don't know if that's why. So we're going to end this. Oh, what I should have actually done is check the restream. Let's do this. We're going to make another attempt. Last 7:53 p.m. So yeah, no, I think, okay. We're going to pause the stream temporarily, and then we're going to come back from the phone and see if that does anything. Should be live again. Okay, yeah. It looks like it just fights for it, but it doesn't take over. The AI lied to me. The AI said that Restream prioritizes. I don't need to talk into the mic anymore because we're talking into the phone. The AI said that Restream prioritizes the most recent connection to the stream key, but it actually appears to be the opposite. It appears that the platform will prioritize the older connection. So this is backup, which is good, because what we need to do now is go do the second, whatchamacallit, the second coat of paint. Just finishing off my Coke before we get started. Warm Coke is kind of disgusting. And it's not actual Coke, it's Summit Cola. Oh, this spot in my back is really bothering me. Ooh. Okay. So, it's absolutely going to be dry by now. At least dry enough to put on another coat. You can see it's not perfectly dry if you look at that, but it's good enough to do a second coat, especially because that was one of the last things we did. If we come over here and look at the first stuff we did, it's much drier. The opposite of how I had your mom last night. just bashed my head off the freaking thing. All right, so let's go, and first we need to mix up some primer. I'm gonna leave the dehumidifier on this time. I turned it back on once I finished doing that while we were switching to the other phone, and that's to the computer. That's because the dehumidifier is going to help the paint dry faster. So we're just leaving it on this time now that we have paint down. So I gotta go find the 5-gallon bucket of primer. We have two. One's open, one isn't. Give me a minute. Okay, this is the open one. It's almost empty, which is why we have the second one. So this will be real quick to mix up. I'm really excited that I'm working on this now. It's been a minute that every time I come down here, I'm like, bro, I still want to finish the basement floor. I don't know if I'm going to paint the walls because the white walls, I think I hear the cat crying. We have him locked upstairs in a room with his food and his litter box because we can't have him painting, walking on the wet paint floor. We'll let him out before we go to sleep because he's probably just going to sleep with me in the bed anyways. But I definitely want to keep the white walls. I like those. And I don't really care to fuck with the paneling stuff, to be honest. That stuff, it's impossible to paint. It's not actually impossible to paint, but it's frustrating as hell because you need to sand the hell out of it. Because if you look, you can see it's got a very glossy finish. You need to sand it down to like bare wood before paint's gonna stick to it, really. You have no idea, absolutely no idea how long it took me to paint the paneling in this fucking room. I had to do so many layers. It was insane. The sanding part was the worst. I think I spent an entire day just sanding that room. It was so frustrating, but totally worth it. All right. It's open. Let me get this all mixed up real quick. There's definitely not enough to do the floor here. Part of me wants to just pour it out on the floor and then use the roller to spread it, but I know that would be a mess and probably come out uneven. So we're gonna end up using a roller pan as is appropriate. It's actually harder to mix it when there's this little left because it keeps scraping the bottom. All right. It's pretty evenly mixed right now. And just the hard part about this is not tilting the little quart container because it doesn't have any weight at the bottom, right? So if you don't pour it directly down the center, if it hits the side, then it's going to knock the quart container over and just cover everything in paint. So this is going to take me a second to be very, very accurate with it. Okay, we have a full quart of paint now. I'm gonna grab our rag, wipe off the edge so that when we close the lid, it doesn't just squirt a jet of paint everywhere. We're not gonna slam down the lid because I don't wanna pry it up again. We're really just gonna set it on top, kind of gently, because we're about to use, oh, there's like a twinge in my neck right there. We're about to use the remaining paint. There's only like another quart left in there, if that. Oh. Oh, okay. Anyone want to give me a back and neck massage? I would love that right now. So let's go set this down. We're gonna do the same thing we did last time. We're gonna start in that corner, work our way around, and then start in that corner. I probably should have been pointing to show you guys. Work our way around. No, we're starting in that corner. I'm doing it backwards. Behind the stairs, starting in that corner, working our way around, and then we're gonna go back, do the stairs over there, and probably do that part in the middle whenever I remember to do it. But that needs to go like late. I don't remember exactly the order we did that, but it definitely needs to be later on the list. All right. Need to go get the brush real quick. Alright. Shook all the water out of it. That's a little trick. If you're not going to use a brush for a while, you actually don't tell a professional painter I said this, but you can literally leave a brush in a bucket of water for months. And as long as it doesn't start to rust, it's going to be pretty much fine. But for things like this, if you don't want to wash it out because you're about to use it again, and you're about to, just like a warm bucket of water, you can leave it in there and then shake the water out, and it's good to go. What's dripping? I saw a drip of something. I don't know what drip. I don't see anything that's wet. There are drip spots. But just as long, I did find like a random chip that came off, and I took that off. But just as long as there's no chips. Oh, I see the drip. Fresh drip. I don't know where that drip came from. But let's just spread that out so it doesn't end up being a big bubble. Not that it's going to be a big bubble on the floor, but alright. This is going to be the more difficult part because I need to not step on the already painted part. I'll be back in a moment. The tape over here is not sticking at all. It's absolutely terrible. I hate it. I really don't know why this is the one area it just absolutely refuses to stick. I sent my theory earlier, but it's like insane how the tape is still sticky, but it won't stick to the wall. It's got zero stickiness, but it's sticky. Okay, it's kind of there. Let's just accept that that's good enough. It's up off the part we're painting, which is the important thing. The craziest thing is you can kind of see where the paint from the wall ends and the paint that I'm painting now starts. Because the paint from the wall has this whole speckly aspect to it. Alright, I think we're done there. Now we just got to paint this side coming out. Oh, my knee hurts. Kneeling on concrete does not feel good. I'm going to go a little slower and make sure there's better coverage this time because we really don't want to do this again. Now, for the walls, 3 coats of trim depending on like the colors and stuff. Like if you're going from a dark color to a light color, or if there's patterns or something that you're trying to erase, 3 coats of trim isn't unheard of. For this floor, I'm not doing 3 coats of trim. I'm just doing 2, and then we're hoping the gray covers any inconsistencies. But because we're doing 2, we're putting on this second coat, thick and going slow, making sure we've got nice coverage. Oh, my knees. Oops, I jumped ahead a little bit too much. Let's go back to that spot. One thing I do on walls when I'm trimming is when I finish a section, ooh, I stood up a little too fast. I'll go and then I'll do one drag with the brush to make it look all nice and uniform. But especially on this beat up concrete floor, no one's going to notice a few wayward brush strokes. There's like some yellowed areas on the wall, probably from contacting the aluminum or the gas pipe over here. And I kind of want to paint them, but I know if I do that, then I'm going to have one really white area where I paint it, and then the rest is going to be yellowish brown. Because you never realize how much a wall, like I don't even know if this is the same color white, but even if you do have the same color white, you never realize how much a wall is going to be changing in color until you like put that same type of paint on 4 months later and you're like, oh shit, now I need to repaint the whole wall. Alright, that was right here. Oh, my knee is killing me. I need to stop kneeling on the concrete, but it's just so much easier than fucking crouching down. Oh, it doesn't like that at all. I used to squat for hours as a softball umpire. That was my first job. I'd sit like this for like an hour and a half straight. My knee's just really bothering me in general right now. I'm not as young as I used to be, I guess. We're gonna do both the pipe and the drain last, because they're both kind of wet, and I don't remember what order I did those. I need to stop standing up so quickly. Oh, okay. So, I stood up too quickly again. I'm just going to stand here for a sec so I don't pass out. I'm standing up quickly a lot more now that I'm not kneeling down. But it's okay. I have to lay down for this part to get under that fucking shelf again. I suppose I could have taken the shelf off, but that would have been a lot of screwing. And I'm done screwing around in this basement. So yeah, we're just going to breathe for a second. Then we're going to go under the cat piss stairs. That's what I'm going to start calling them from now on. Because that landing up top there was absolutely drenched in cat piss to the point where it had worn the old paint off. And I had to get like 2 gallons of cat piss cleaner to get the smell out of there. We definitely just had a drip right there. There's a little dangly piece. Let me get rid of that dangly piece. All right. My hand's kind of cramping from holding that for so long. It's not like an actual muscle cramp. It's just a weird sore area in my thumb. What I really needed to do is to massage that on my thumb, but we don't need to hold this much longer. We're probably not even going to hold it under here. We're just going to set it down. All right. Going in, taking a deep breath. Oh, my back. This is our really dry area that's just eating up the paint. Okay, then at this spot, little divot right there. Alright, now we've got the really bad corner. I'm going to stop talking here because if I inhale, I'm just going to inhale the scent of cat piss and that's it. Whew, I can breathe again. All right. So, we got these areas, and then we let that dry a little bit. All right. That looks pretty good. Just got some paint on the beard, but it happens. I'm gonna look like Santa Claus by the time I'm done with this. Alrighty. Yeah, it's looking pretty damn good. Let's clean up the drips real quick. Set this on the tarp. Close it up. We're going to spray off the brush in the sink and then set it in the bucket of water. We'll clean it up for good once we're done. Oh man, I got dizzy, stood up too fast again. Okay. That should be enough for now. At this point, we just gotta wait for that to dry, so we can do a coat of paint with the roller, and we'll coat the whole thing. Now, I believe the plan from this point on is to do a dungeon in WoW, paint the floor, do a dungeon in WoW, paint the floor, and keep doing that until it's done. Now, whether or not I get the gray entirely done tonight, I have to. I literally have to. So however long it takes, the fucking tape is coming off, but that's fine. That area here, I'll show you guys. That's the one area that the tape is not sticking. But that's also the area where the cat litter box goes, and it's the least obvious area. So if that corner is a little messed up, who fucking cares, right? No one's gonna see it unless they decide to pick up and move the cat's litter box, which if they're doing that, then okay, I don't care. But yeah, so we're gonna switch back to the computer, gonna do a WoW dungeon or two. I'm gonna make some coffee, and then we will do the thing. I want to see, now that I have them both using the same stream key, if it will let the PC just take over. Let's go ahead and try this. Oh wait, we've got conversations in chat. What's up? How's it going, Soda? I've just been painting the basement. I'm getting a new washer finally. Also, the dryer randomly started working again. I don't know why. So all we need now is the washer, which we're getting on Friday. But I want to have the floor of the basement painted before the dryer comes in. Now, it's not going to be enough time for the paint to cure fully the way it should, but we're going to get it painted. That way, it's at least covered underneath it, and if the floor gets, it's going to be this color. If the floor gets messed up doing the, putting the stuff in there, I can just fix it later. I'm glad to hear you're feeling better, by the way. So this is the first time we've ever multi-streamed from the phone. Unfortunately, the phone won't let me view chat while multi-streaming, but now that I'm back in the studio, I can see chat. We're going to switch back to the PC while we wait for the coat we just did to dry. And then we're going to do, we finished 2 coats of trim just now. So we're going to do 2 coats of regular primer. And then we're going to switch to gray paint. And the plan right now for tonight is to, from this point on, run a dungeon in WoW, do another coat of paint, run a dungeon in WoW, do another coat of paint. And that should be enough time, at least for the same colors. When we switch from the white to gray, we might need to give it a little more time, but that all depends on how wet it is, especially because we're putting on the second coat a little thicker, so we don't need to do extra coats. But we're gonna switch to the PC real quick. Now, it might bug out for a sec. I'm trying to see if there's a way to switch to the PC without stopping the stream. But we might need to stop the stream for just a second. If it does stop, we'll be back a second later. Let's see what happens. Okay, yeah, it gives us a failed to connect. So we gotta stop this on here, and then we'll start it up on All right, we should be back. We were watching Random Things. I didn't watch that. Why is this? Oh yeah, we did watch that. We were watching this. I was talking about there was a crazy video we just watched, which was this. A guy was apparently kidnapped for his cryptocurrency. We were watching this while eating. A guy was kidnapped for his cryptocurrency. They like held a gun to his head. They took a chainsaw to his arms and legs. They did all kinds of crazy shit to him. It's like something out of a B horror movie. And it's just absolutely insane. We keep hearing more and more ridiculous things that people are doing. And I was talking about this other guy because I was like, I think there's something going on in the universe right now where like demons have crawled out of hell and are just invading people. I didn't say it as straight up the first time. I forget exactly how I said it. I said like evil is infecting people or something like this. But just listen.
I have everything right here, and it's all been falsified.
To
Eric
this guy's
Conover
statements
had
right
a lot
here.
to say before his arraignment this afternoon.
The wavering, the way his voice sounds, the way he phrases everything, just listen to this.
Eric Conover had a lot to say before his arraignment this afternoon.
If anyone dares try to test my mental competence, I will eviscerate every single person with my intelligence right now. And that's not being egotistical.
Police paperwork.
That's like straight up demons or mental illness or both. All Haven Games. It's called social media. Yeah. That definitely is a contributor, no doubt. Like some of the most insane shit ever happens because of social media. Like the guy who was going around poisoning food and stuff just to get views. Like what the fuck is that? We watched the Atozi video on that the other day. We're going to close this for now though, and we're going to switch over to WoW. We're going to do WoW dungeons and then go back to painting. That's what we're doing all night. It's not going to be good really for the stream because, oh, is it still set to WoW on this one? It is. Look at that. And it's still set to the old title. Third day of I'm Sick of the Sun. That's fine. So, we've been having some trouble setting up the mobile multi-stream, but it's working well enough for now. So what we've been doing is we've been doing 2 rounds of trim. We just finished the second coat of trim. We're going to do a dungeon in WoW to give that coat of trim some time to really set in before we do the regular rolling of the floor. And before we took time to eat dinner. Now, it wasn't as much time probably for the dinner as it will be for the dungeon, but that's on purpose. When you're doing trim, especially if it doesn't need to be perfect, like on a basement floor, you don't really need to give as much time between the... You know what? I could probably just roll the floor right now, but to be fair, I want to give my knees and back a break. I also want to get in and do dungeons before it gets too late, because I found out last night that once it hits like midnight, it starts to get increasingly hard to find people to do dungeons with. So I'm going to go make a coffee real quick and we'll get logged in. We're going to do the Warlock first, because the Warlock's the main thing I'm trying to get to 60. The only reason it's lower than just about everything else is because it's new, because the old Warlock died. We got the robe already, which is awesome. We got the robe from Ragefire Chasm. Now all we need from RFC is the dagger. And we'll have, oh, I guess maybe the bracers. If we get the dagger and the bracers, we'll have the best gear possible we can get for this character from RFC. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make a coffee to energize me so I can go all night long. I thought about playing WoW again. Nice. What I meant was I think social is to blame a lot of the way. Oh, I definitely agree. Social media lets the demons into you, so to speak. Right? Because there's so many reasons why. A lot of it is shit people do for views. A lot of it is ways that people are influenced by reactions to things they post on social media. For example, there's this detransitioner named Chloe Cole. And she said the whole reason she transitioned in the first place was because of Instagram, basically, and the unrealistic views forced upon her about women's body types. And she didn't feel like she'd ever be as pretty as like Khloe Kardashian or Kim Kardashian or any of that stuff. Obviously, not realizing as a young kid that they have hundreds of thousands of dollars probably worth of cosmetic surgery, and there's just filters and airbrushes and all that shit. So she felt like she had a boyish, boxy frame. So she started transitioning because of that. And also, she said the doctors kind of pushed her towards it too. And she was talking about starting a malpractice lawsuit against them. I don't know if anything ever came of that, but of course this all happened in California. So now don't get me wrong, I'm fully in support of LGBT rights, but I don't believe we should transition kids. I think if they're too young to consent to sex, they're too young to consent to having their sex organs chopped off. That just seems to make sense to me. I've heard a few stories like that. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I have mixed feelings about banning kids from social media. I know Australia's done that, but Australia's like honestly maybe one of the most fucked up countries in the world. I keep hearing more insane things that keep coming from Australia. But I do think there should be built-in protections. Kind of like how YouTube has a separate section for kids, right? What I really miss is Facebook used to make it impossible for people over 18 to view or search or see any under 18 profiles or anything like that. But now they have like a bunch of reels of like 13-year-old girls in bikinis dancing with advertisements on them, and it's okay because it's a parent-run channel or a fucking modeling agent-run channel. It's just like, oh my god, this shit is so unabashedly evil. How the fuck do they even get away with it? But I'm gonna go make a coffee real quick, guys. I'll be right back. talk to me about WoW, Allhaven. What are your favorite memories from WoW? What did you play? Expansions, classes? Were you a PvPer, PvEer, a little bit of both? Let me know. I'm interested. I'm kind of new to the game myself, but I'm a hardcore MMOer. I started with RuneScape in like 6th or 7th grade. And in college, I got into EVE Online, played that shit for 10 years. Not really a traditional MMO, but still an MMO type game. It's not an MMORPG, but it's an MMO. Then after that, I burnt out on that. I played ESO. And ESO, Elder Scrolls Online, is still my favorite MMO. But when I came back to streaming, I've only been back for a couple months now. I wanted to do something fresh. And I've played retail before, but I only got to like level 32. So, first of all, I like vanilla way better than I like retail. Classic WoW is so much better than modern WoW. It's just incomparable. Plus, the whole hardcore aspect. I used to play some hardcore Iron Man in old school RuneScape. So I'm kind of familiar with that. Plus, playing high stakes games like EVE Online, I really like hardcore a lot more than regular. To be fair, I do have some regular characters, and I move my characters over to Dream Scythe when they die. But hardcore, I just love the high stakes of it. PvE and dungeons, my favorite memory is kind of a stupid one, but walking onto the train, someone else was getting on too, and we talked about where we were going. Yeah. Oh, just like the Alliance tram. Ew, Alliance. No, I'm kidding. I have a couple Alliance characters. I don't really play them right now, but I do love the Paladin. Paladin gameplay is fun. I had two other Alliance characters that died, but you can see I got these ones down here. But clearly I've got 3 times as many Horde characters. Yeah, just random encounter. Dude, I love the coolest thing about hardcore is 2 random people grouping up to do a really tough quest where it's like you need to clear out an entire tower and there's a rare spawn in it and a commander, and it's impossible to only pull one of them. So there's going to be like a group of 3 mobs that you have to fight together. Never met this person. Neither one of you is a class that can tank very well. So you're just like risking your whole ass with this rando that you met walking into the same area. You both team up, you boss that shit, and you just say GG's, walk away, never see the person again. I love those little moments like that. ESO too, we would group in a random spot and just talk to people. Yeah, ESO is by far my favorite MMO. I've also played a lot of Warframe. You could kind of call Destiny like an MMORPG light. Definitely less than Warframe in some ways, but also more than Warframe in others. But by far my favorite is Elder Scrolls Online. The more I play this game, the more I miss Elder Scrolls Online, but I have a goal of getting at least one character to 60 and running some 60 dungeons and stuff. I don't know if I want to raid, because part of me wants to see if I can get my numbers back up to the point where I would be eligible for OnlyFans 3. And if I raid now, then I won't be, then I'll be considered a sweat in OnlyFans 3. But I don't know if I'll ever reach that level. All right, so we're going to queue for the dungeon. Do I have shit on me I don't need? No, not really. I should farm Can I kill the things out front? I think so. I'm probably still low enough. I need to farm soul shards. I need a couple soul shards. I need to just remember to cast Drain Soul occasionally. Oh, they need... I might get invited like instantly because there's someone that's missing 1 DPS. We're gonna cast this right away so I have it. I have my Hearthstone, Healthstone. What's your favorite class to play in both? I don't know in ESO, to be honest. I have the whatchamacallit, the new Arcanist class, but I haven't leveled that character yet. It's only like level 7 or something like that. My first class in ESO was a Dragon Knight tank, and my favorite class in WoW has always been Warlock. I used to Sherpa people in vet dungeons on ESO. That was kind of my thing. I would just randomly queue for vet dungeons all day long, and being the tank, I would take all the blame when we wiped, even though it was literally a DPS check and tanks can't deal DPS. Not that I would take the blame intentionally, just that it was forced upon me. People would be like, oh, this damn healer didn't taunt and I got cleaved. It's like, I couldn't taunt because I was frozen in fucking stone because you didn't kill the floating orbs, dumbass. Alright, let's go find some souls to suck. Can we? Okay. We're also gonna find some beasts to skin too. So even if we don't find any souls to suck, I'm actually surprised we didn't get invited yet because there was a group that only needed 1 more DPS. Maybe they don't want a warlock for some reason. Okay, that's high enough level that we can get some... Nope, that's the wrong ability. What the hell is it? It's 3. Okay. We need at least 1 more. Actually, I'm gonna farm up a whole bunch so I can give the whole squad health stones. There's one we can kill. I did it again. What do you mean? I'm the one looting that corpse. Someone? I'm someone. So we should get like 9 total. That gives me the ability to give 1 to each person. Just hit all these level 9s. Wait until the imp pulls aggro before we drain soul. That way it doesn't cancel our channel. Alright, what's that guy? Another level 9. We need 3 more. 2 more. Am I still queued? I guess people just really don't want a warlock tonight. Which one are we targeted? The one that went behind the tree? Yeah. I hit the wrong button. We're gonna pull a lot of aggro with these 2 spells, but it's low enough, yeah, we should do it before it cancels. Alright. So, let's go 1 more. Why aren't you casting Fire Shield on me? Does it only cast Fire Shield if I start taking damage? I wonder. I kind of want to learn the behavior of that, but not enough to go actually figure it out. Alright. So. I think we're done with all the quests in this area. Except Fizzle's Claw. We can probably do Fizzle's Claw. Maybe. No, we need the Void Walker before we do Fizzle's Claw. We might. No, I'm not. I'm gonna wait till 15 to go get the Void Walker, unless we get a friend that's willing to do it with us. We'll just get these pieces of scrap right here for a sec. PD Lol has reached. Does that have to do with P Diddy? 60. Why would you name your character after him like that? Even if it's mocking him. It just doesn't make any sense. I think the Diddler is the most hilarious name ever for him. Totally deserving. All right. We are gonna be there in 1 moment. We can mail our random hide shit to whatchamacallit, Oxenford, our leather crafter. The meat we'll probably just sell. It's not a big enough stack to be worth it. Actually, it's worth 10 silver on auction. Never mind. We'll just sell it. I'm trying to think of what to respond. But so in our party, someone said they had the UC ones, the Undercity quests for this whatchamacallit, for this dungeon. And then they were like, oh wait, never mind, I lied. That was my other character. And I was gonna respond something clever to it, but it just hasn't happened. I'm too... Oh, he does have it. Okay. Now I said this group has been a roller coaster already. Because he does have it, even after he said he didn't.
Be careful.
Everyone hugging the wind ride, but any buffs incoming? Who knows? I've got a scroll I can pop. We'll probably do that just in case. I don't... If the tank is any decent, we shouldn't need the scroll though. We should save it for when we're doing solo stuff. What is Oxenford? Damn. That was delayed. I sent that like 40 minutes ago. The drums. I'm so used to these drums right now. Oh. Zalindrar will drop in 50 seconds. Zandalar. I wonder if it's on this layer. Do I have world buffs installed? I should check my things to make sure they're updated too. Oh god, what was that? We disappeared into the wall for a second. All right. All right. Nefarion will drop in 15 seconds. Is it going to hit us though? We're about to see. Or is it going to happen on a different Rallying Cry of the Dragon Slayer has dropped. I guess it's not on this Slayer. But something might happen in this Slayer because people are questioning what? Okay. So we've got the priest and the warrior. We just need the shaman, which is there. And then Blade Fury once he's ready. Imagine I'm deep with it. What the fuck? This guy is lonely. Super lonely. Ah. He says not. We're waiting on Blade Fury. The leader of the group, I think. I'm not sure. How do you see who's leader? Okay, he said he's on his way. I do not have the quests. Oh, Blade Fury can't trade. I can't trade Hellstones. Whatever. Damn self-founders. I don't really feel like playing a self-found. I could, but I have no interest in doing it, to be honest. Why do you ask who the tank is? Obviously it's the warrior. Like, why would... We have a warrior and nothing else can tank. I mean, I guess shaman kinda could. But I'm not gonna expect a shaman to tank ever. Alright, so we are just... Hello, what's up, AFKing always? I was kind of AFKing my chat. Not exactly, but I'm just trying to be relatable. Because I'm not actually a human. I'm just a creature from outer space in human skin. How are you doing, AFK? Good to see you in chat. We are running a hardcore dungeon on our warlock. Someone just entered. Oh, Malachite. Give me that. Sweet. You a WoW player, hardcore player? If so, what class do you like? I am absolutely a massive Warlock fan. I don't really like playing anything. Well, I have other characters, but Warlock is by far my favorite, and I'm not even using my mana. I'm literally AFKing this dungeon when you're walking in here. Let's cast some actual spells. No, I don't have any of the quests. I've already completed the quests on this character, I believe. Pull for me my cake. What kind of warrior tank doesn't have a ranged weapon to pool with? I can see not wanting to pool as a... whatchamacallit. I can see not wanting to pool as a bear, because to pool as a bear, you need to lose your rage, which can be really frustrating sometimes. But as a warrior, you just fucking do one ranged attack with a bow, crossbow, gun, or thrown weapon. All of which warriors can learn. I'm pretty sure they can learn gun. I think I remember seeing a warrior use a gun once, but I don't know for a fact that they can. My warriors use bow and crossbow. Alright, just splitting our DPS, but that's fine. We don't have problems really. The healer's on point. The tank's doing fine. He's not taking too much damage. Speaking of guns, we just got one as a drop. Not that we're gonna really use that. Oh boy. Someone always pulls those accidentally. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure my last run through as a whatchamacallit, a druid tank. I was pretty sure I pulled those accidentally, but seeing how easy it is for someone to walk in and pull that now, I'm not sure I pulled them. Because what happened was I used an AoE growl thing, but I don't know the range of it. People are saying let's drink. I'm like, I don't need to drink. I'll just consume my own flesh. I love being Warlock so much. Oh, I don't need to cast Corruption. That's gonna die. I need to remember I don't really need to cast Corruption. Things are just gonna die before I get Corruption off. Well, just the 2 dots is fine, and then spam Shadow Bolts. Now, if we really wanted to do some high-level min-maxing, we could just put dots on everything. We should practice that. Dwarven Hatchet of Agility, greed that bitch. Or we would just put dots on nothing because we can't, because we get resisted. I don't think so. Nope. Oh, can't be shared. Rip. No reason to put the extra dot on even this guy, because he's just gonna die. Nice level. We might get a level this dungeon. Then we're gonna go paint the floor. We're just spamming the Discord with go live events. I just realized every hour or so we're sending out a Discord event. My mana is so high. Yeah, this group is just amazing. Aboriginal Gloves of the Eagle. Cloth. We'll greet it. We don't need that, but maybe we could give it to the Grape Jumper's gonna get it. It's What's this? Leather. I actually could have used those gloves, but the tooltips were wrong. I should have read it myself. It said I got a whole bunch of minuses if I equipped those gloves, but I didn't read it well enough. It's partially my fault, also partially the fact that the tooltip is kind of janky sometimes. It said I had minus armor, but I guess it's because... I don't know. That was more armor. We have stamina and spirit, which is alright, but stam and intellect, that would have been so much better, if we're being honest. It resisted whatever. We're good. Nope. But not even anything to worry about. That was like sketchy for a sec, but then we just immediately clutched. This group is so good. Tribal pants. Let's actually, nope, those are leather. We're gonna spend a little more time watching to make sure the tooltips are correct from now on. Ooh, the cape. Agility, strength. We'll greed on it. Mikey Light. Oh, yeah. The warrior needed on it. We're not gonna need on it. Absolutely not if the warrior is needing on it. Everyone needed on that. The rogue? Okay, the rogue can get that. Grizzly jerking to the owl? Nope. We're not jerking any owls. We are not into bestiality on this channel. Do you know there's people whose job is literally to jerk off horses? That's kind of crazy. Because they need to breed like the prize racing horses and stuff like that. I think it's just absolutely insane that there are some people that are literally paid to farm horse cum. I still have that spot in my back that's all fucked up. I should spend a talent while we're waiting. What do we want to do? We don't have Voidwalker yet, but when we have it, we're gonna want the Voidwalker abilities to be better. So we'll use that immediately. Speaking of Voidwalker, let's kill one. Ooh, that just got deleted. What did so much damage to it? Holy shit, this group is great. Let's see, we've got a level 12 priest. The priest is relatively low, which is fine. We need to lock in for a sec. Alright, that got a little messy for a sec. The priest is low. The shaman's level 15. The warrior is 16. No one's even that high. No one's even that high of a level. We're just crushing anyways. This group is great. I didn't need to wand there. Now I can wand, but it's a little too late. We'll wand this guy. No need. This guy we probably wand. Yeah. I just wanted to crank on this one a bit by myself. Everyone else was cranking on the other guy, so normally I have not seen a tank in queue for an hour. I mean, I can queue in about an hour. We have a tank that we haven't queued on yet. We'll check him in about an hour. I'm out of mana. Ooh, the Chanting Blade! We want that. The Brackwater leggings, we're gonna greed. We'll do... I kinda wanna need the Chanting Blade. That's what we're after. Damn it, Blade Fury got it. Those boops give me like nightmares from playing melee characters. Just hearing those blocks, I think it is, or is it parries that cause the boop? It's just like, oh god, poor guy. I should start practicing my dots. Grizzle jerking to the monkey. First we were jerking owls, now we're jerking monkeys. You know, I like this group. They're a cool group of people. But all the bestiality stuff is a little weird. Barrel Cloak of the Eagle. Ooh, intellect, stamina. I'm gonna need that. Damn it. I'm not getting any drops this time. That's fine. I'm pretty well set up as far as all the other things. I missed the roll on the one thing I actually need. I got fucking leather pants that I don't need. Birchwood Mole the gorilla. I guess we can just send that stuff to the leather users if they actually need it. We got all of our dots up, so let's just DPS main now, and then if something's still alive after main, we'll put more damage on that. Alright. So we walk out now? I think. No one's saying GG's. Okay, there it is. Dude, this guy is so lonely. Great jump, Dora. The loneliest WoW player I've ever seen. Oh, I got more leather. I didn't get any of the drops I actually want, but I've got all this random leather bullshit. Everyone agrees that guy was just strange. He was trying to like shove a tank. He was yeah, everyone was just wrecking. We were all cranking damage. Nice. Mikey Light was laying down the damage. I figured it was possibly. Dude, we almost walked right into the lava.
I don't have a target.
Okay. Rake care. All right. So now what I'm actually going to do, I'm saying it ironically that time because I'm sick of myself saying it. And I shouldn't keep saying it ironically because then I'm going to go back to saying it for real. What I'm going to do now is before we go do the paint, while we're still logged into this character, we're going to go get our Void Walker. I don't think we got any gear we can use because we didn't get any of the rolls. But we got a whole bunch of leather gear that we can't use on this character. And we've got 2 leather characters though. We have a druid and a shaman, which are both leather for now, but eventually become male. So we'll see what we can do with that leather gear we have. We got 2 pieces of leather. We got like no drops that run. That was kind of unfortunate. We wanted the Channing Blade. We want the cape would have been nice, but we didn't need on it because the warrior needed it. And I generally let tank take prio on rolls. We should have rolled on the damn gloves. I'm an idiot for not rolling on those gloves, but I moused over and it said my gloves were better, but they're good but not better. All right. So first things first, let's sell the junk. It'd be nice if we were going slower and it rebuffed, because then I'd still have priest buff for doing this next thing, but that's fine. We can live without it. All this is junk. Sell the junk. We don't have any random consumables we don't need. We do have more soul shards than we need, but I'm fine with that. We aren't gonna get that much loot doing what we're about to do, so I'm not worried, especially once we mail these leathers. And yeah, we don't need to level that anymore, so we're gonna send wads this thing, then we'll send it to the strength and agility. Okay, strength and stamina. Oh, that's male. Okay, so we got male and we definitely don't even need that. We'll send the shaman the pants, and then if he doesn't need them, we can send them to the druid, and we'll send the warrior the boots. All right. So we're gonna walk out here, and we will pop both of our scrolls before we enter this cave. We'll screw it. We'll do it now. We're just gonna use all our buffs right now. We're not gonna be in there for 30 minutes, I don't think. All right. So we are going to go get that Void Walker. Right meow. I still need to see Super Troopers 2. I've heard like mixed reviews on it. I want it to be good so bad. They did I forget what it was called, but they did a show where they were firefighters for a while that I thought was pretty damn funny. But to be fair, I spent 15 years as a volunteer firefighter, so I got a lot of the inside jokes. I don't know if it's funny for people that aren't firefighters, you know? But it was definitely funny for me as a firefighter. Not as good as Super Troopers, to be fair. But, you know, Super Troopers has to be their Mona Lisa. I don't know if you'll ever top that. I feel like that's okay, though. You know, I feel like too many people are like, oh my god, someone did this amazing, perfect piece of art or comedy that can never be compared to, and then everything they do after that doesn't compare. And it's like, well, it doesn't make what they created any less magnificent, you know? Sometimes you strike gold, and that just because you don't strike gold afterwards doesn't necessarily mean the time that you did strike gold is worth any less. It's just kind of weird how people get with that stuff. Okay, cool. We're just gonna follow this hunter who's in here doing the same thing. I'm just gonna start wanding. There's no point to Shadow Bolt because things are just dying so fast to the wand. But we're gonna do it. We're doing the everything else, not the Shadow Bolt. Put the we probably don't need the other dot up. But we'll still hit Immolate, because Immolate hits... Immolate hits straight up. It does a big damage hit before it starts the dot. The Curse isn't as good specifically, because the Curse takes longer to do damage. So the Curse does its most damage on the first attack, and then it does more... The Curse does its most damage on the first attack, and then it does less and less as it goes forward. I love the dual pet. I should have spammed Immolate. Not spammed, but I should have cast Immolate, but that's fine. We can just spam wands on it and kill him anyways. Oh, that reminds me, bro. We can make a new wand now. get that minion. All right. Where is he? Dude, dismiss your pet. Dismiss your pet. Or it's gonna just pull everything on us. Sure.
That spell isn't ready yet.
He wins it. Oh, I forgot the chest. Woo! That was close. I need to open that chest, don't I? I need to get the chest still.
Recharging. Target.
Okay. I forgot to pick up the chest. I need to go back.
That spell isn't ready
The whole reason I came in here, I forgot to do. That's fine. I get to prove that I can do it by myself. I can do it by myself. I'm going the wrong way. No, this is the... we just had to get back this way. Okay. I was kind of turned around, but now we're going the right way. So the one annoying thing of doing this is we might get some unfortunate respawns. But that's just the way it is. We kind of messed up. And now we're going to pay the price for that. We probably should have shadow bolted him, but that's fine. We're just gonna chug right ahead. Go get this chest before everything up here respawns. It already respawned, so that's fine. Just focus on this guy. We can fear the other guy if we get in trouble, but I'm hoping we won't. Okay, so he shadow bolted my minion. We traded minion for minion. But I am cranking hard on him, and he is only got me at 50.
to target something first.
All right. There we go. Got the thing I needed. Now, is it worth... No, we're just gonna hearth out. Because, we're kind of low health. We could eat to get back up. It's not worth it, though. Because we just need to come back here. And we're logging this character out anyways after we turn in the quest. So let's go get our Voidwalker. We have plenty of spare... whatchamacallem. Soul shards. Plenty of spare soul shards. So I don't need to worry about running out of that. We got random materials that we can send to the bank. Is this even worth sending? No, it's probably better just to vendor it or just wait till we get more. Yeah, we'll wait till we get more of that because it's gonna stack anyways. I don't know if the Malachite's worth selling, but it does. We'll probably just leave those stacks. I feel like I need to be more efficient as far as my mail expenditures. I spend way too much copper mailing stuff. I should wait till I get closer to full stacks of things. Oh, what do I have to turn in here? Oh, the burning insignia, I think. Yeah. Oh, the burning eye. I think we do the burning insignia to Thrall, and then Thrall tells us to take it to him. But first, let's do our Voidwalker minion, because I can. Yeah, we're level 15, so we don't have new abilities yet. But the Voidwalker minion should.
Go forth to victory.
The following will be cast on you using the glyph summon and subdue a Voidwalker. Then return the glyphs of summoning to Garul Bloodeye. Alright, so let's go summon the Voidwalker. And we gotta do that in the circle of summoning right here. The guy decided to help us, but he didn't really need to. We had that thing utterly destroyed. Appreciate the help, though. Alright. Let's go. Glyphs of summoning. Continue. Can cast my Voidwalker now, which is sick. Alright. So let's go Demonology, summon Voidwalker, move Hearthstone over 1, or Healthstone I mean, and let's go cast our Voidwalker. Finally, bro, we can actually do Warlock things now. As cool as the Imp is, the Voidwalker's really where it's at, man. I don't either, dude. Oh, what's his name? Chargrave. That's a pretty cool name. We need the Voidwalker ones. There aren't any Voidwalker ones yet. Fair enough. Let's double check. Firebolt, Blood Pact, Fire Shield, Phase Shift. Torment rank 1 is... Oh, he already has Torment rank 1. It's the... Torment rank 2 but that says level 20. I'm pretty sure we get something before that. Sacrifice. Level 16. Okay, the next level we get sacrifice. And then 18, we get the one after sacrifice, consume shadows. Yeah. Fair enough.
Victory!
Alright. So now we've got the Voidwalker. Let's go show our Voidwalker off to Thrall himself. Let him know we're a real warlock. We can tame a Voidwalker. And then we'll go talk to Niru Fireblade and convince him we're part of his band of what word am I looking for? There's a group of warlocks that are pretending to be helpful to Thrall, but not actually helpful to Thrall and working against him. And that's what Nero is part of. So we're gonna pretend to be one of them. So we need to talk to Thrall, then talk to Nero, then talk to Thrall again. I'm pretty sure.
Loktar, friend.
Hidden enemies.
What is it you wish?
Lieutenant's insignia, complete quests, hidden enemies,
Have you come to
except.
the Horde?
So we talk to a new Fireblade. I have indeed come to serve the Horde, unlike the traitorous Niru. So, all the walking. This is I bet you didn't know it, guys, but this is a walking simulator game. It's not really an MMORPG. It didn't hit us. That one hit us. Go talk to Niru Firedick.
Blood and thunder. For the Horde.
Alright. Now, let's go talk to Thrall again, I'm pretty sure. Yep. We just need to be Thrall's little errand boy for a minute, or errand girl in this case on this character. It's kind of fitting that my male warlock died and the female warlock's more likely to be my first 60 now, because my character on retail is a female warlock too. My only character on retail, female warlock. That guy ruined it. We were jumping in time and he fucking ruined it. What a piece of shit. I was so excited to just be jumping in time with a random individual. I thought my Voidwalker jumped with me, but I think it just pathed over something right after I jumped. We perfectly cleared that dude, I'm pretty sure.
Loktar, friend.
Alright,
What is it?
hidden enemies, weak
Welcome
quests.
to Orgrimmar. Have you
Kill
come to
Bazalon and Jogros the Invoker. Oh. So I need to do the quest again. That's fine. We'll do it tomorrow. Because we're locked out. I think the fucking dungeon lockouts are stupid as hell. We don't really need to get rid of anything, right? We got 20 inventory space. We're not going to fill that up in the dungeon. We will log out by the dungeon. God, I really just want to run the dungeon again, but I need to go paint real quick. So we're going to switch the stream over to the paintings, to the phone. We'll just chill here logged in. You know what? I'm sick of switching the stream back and forth. I was really hoping I could do it without stopping the stream. But it doesn't appear that I can. But you know what? It's going to be longer than like 10 minutes. I don't like to AFK from the stream longer than 10 minutes. Like 10 minutes is the max time I prefer to leave the stream up AFK. Oh, you know what we do need to do actually though? We need to make a wand. We have a lesser magic wand. We can make a greater magic wand. And that will be a significant DPS upgrade. Because I'm pretty sure greater magic wands are level 15 and look what level we are! That got oddly loud and aggressive. I'm sorry for headphone users, but it couldn't be too bad because I do have a compression filter. So I can like peak the hell out of my mic and it won't get too loud for you guys, probably. It'll just distort the mic, which something I could do for fun. I've done it like once or twice before. It gets pretty loud for me because there's no compression filter in my headphones. And it's probably not great for the mic either, if we're being completely honest. But it's not a ribbon mic, which are those sensitive ones. It's a solid state compressor, so it should be able to handle a little bit of screaming into it every now and then. Alright. Pick up the random stuff we sent here. Make that boar meat. And sell it real quick. I hit jump, but instead of jumping, it targeted the fucking auctioneer. So, we need to... make a wand. We should have all the stuff we need to make it on us, to be honest. I don't think we even really need to go buy or bank, but we're right by the bank anyways. Probably not worth selling. We already have that. Probably not worth selling the food on the... Oh, actually that auctions pretty well. Oh, we need to put that on the auction house too. This probably not worth selling. We're just gonna sell that, but we'll auction the rest. But before we do that, while we're still here by the mail, and so we don't forget, probably should have done this first, but it took me a while to remember that I can probably just make it. Greater magic wand. Oh, I need greater magic essence. Let me make sure it's 15. Oh, it's level 13. We could have made that an earlier level, but that's fine. We can make a greater with the lesser we have. So we'll sell this to Wad. I mean, send it to Sick of the Sun. Alright. And then Sell the random armor. And what's the other thing we have? I probably didn't need to sprint there, but that's fine. We gotta wait for the scanning to finish. Oh yeah, we have extra wolf meat. Post one of those. Post the wolf meat. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of decent. We'll sell one stack. Might as well sell the whole stack of 20, right? Because we don't really leave anywhere with this character. We'll just sell the extras as we have them. Flint and tinder. Okay, don't need anything else. We don't need to sell those anymore. Because we do have a priest. The priest just can't use him yet. So the bank will hold on to him for now. Alright. Now this is what we should have saved the sprint for, when we couldn't jump down half the distance we needed to run. But it is what it is. Just want to be up by the mail when we log out, so we're already here when we log in. Okay. So log out. Let's pick that mail up before we forget. Equip the wand. And if the trade goods merchant is really close to us, it actually doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we can just sell the wand wherever. 6.2 damage per second increase. It basically doubles. Oh no, not quite. I thought I was looking at the other one. I thought it was going to like 11. But trade good merchants. Nope, it's fine. We'll just sell to this guy. I think we can. Maybe, maybe not. Part of a quest. They have names above their heads, so I figured we could. We can sell it to this guy, the supplier. It's soulbound, so we can't really do anything else with it. Ooh, oh no, Rose, what's up? What's ugh? I'm really sorry to hear that you got something going on that makes you react like that. How are you doing? How's your head right now? I need to ask the AI how to help me with the chat issue I've been having. Are you doing all right, Rose? Like, the chat is fine on the stream. The chat doesn't work when I switch to the chat doesn't work when I switch to the mobile, though. So while I'm waiting to see what Rose has to say, if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. I'm going to search and see if the AI can help me with chat on mobile. I feel like my older brother's dog is very sick and deteriorating very fast. I don't know what will happen. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It's always difficult to lose a pet. I remember when I lost Whiskers. Whiskers was my first cat. That cat was actually my cat. I suppose Charlie's kind of my cat now, because I take care of him, and he just absolutely adores me in a way that Whiskers never did, to be honest. Whiskers was like an ornery, mean alley cat kind of thing. Not like mean, but like you did not mess with him or bother him at all. He was like totally chill as long as you left him alone. But if you mess with him, he would not hesitate to swipe at you. So I was one of the only people he would let just randomly pet. Everyone else they needed to let him sniff him. They needed to let him sniff them first before he would let them pet him. And I had a friend, good friend, one of my oldest friends actually, like I think literally my oldest friend. Her name was Laura. Our mothers met like in the maternity ward. So, and had us like a month apart. So her mom's actually my godmother, and I've known her. We've basically known each other literally since we've been born, and they used to come over to our house all the time when we lived in Pittsburgh, and we're all little kids and stuff. And there was one time they were trying to pet Whiskers and chased him under the bed, her and her sister, and they reached under there to try and get him out or to pet him, and he got them pretty good on their hand, like a solid scratch. And he was just not the kind of cat that you wanted to mess with at all. Charlie's like kind of the opposite. You can just pick him up and carry him around like a little baby, and he doesn't care. But Whiskers, I don't think I ever picked him up in my life. My uncle picked him up once, and we were like shocked that he managed to do that. But like Whiskers was definitely my cat, even though, to be honest, I didn't really take care of him the way I take care of Charlie. He was like my buddy. Like my parents still did the feeding and changing the litter box and stuff back then. Charlie, I mean, Whiskers would just hang out with me. And I was the one that really wanted to keep Whiskers. Originally, he was a cat that started showing up on the porch because they were like putting milk out. He was a stray, and eventually we got him inside, and I'm the one that decided we were keeping Whiskers, basically. So when I went to college, though, I don't know if he'll get through it or not, but I have a feeling he won't. We'll get to that in a second. When I went to college, basically what happened was Whiskers started getting sick. And my parents have never really seen pets as like, they don't really respect pets the way I do. You know, to them, pets are more like an accessory. And I think there was a surgery he could have had or a medical treatment he could have had that might have helped him. But for them, it was just an unnecessary expense. So they elected to have him put to sleep. But fortunately, they were able to schedule it for when I was back from college for Christmas. What a Christmas present that was, you know? But that was really tough, having to let go of my kitty cat when I was at college. I wonder if that contributed to everything else that fucking went wrong when I was in college, now that I think about it. But it definitely wasn't the major thing, but it sure was an underlying factor, I bet. But so here's the thing about pets. They all have much shorter lifespans than we do. So I really hope he pulls through it. But even if he does, it's almost inevitable that you're gonna have to confront that at some point. Because cats and dogs just don't live as long as we do, unfortunately. I wish they did. I'd love to have Charlie with me for the rest of my life. But, you know, sometimes I just sit there and I wonder. It's like, man, how much longer am I going to have Charlie here? And what do I do when he's gone? At first, I used to get, like, kind of annoyed with him up here. Because I didn't even want Charlie here, to be honest. I'm sure he's mad at me right now because he's locked in the room because we're painting the basement. And I can't have him walking on the freshly painted basement floor, of course. If we were painting the walls, it wouldn't be so bad, but the floor, no, he's just gonna mess that up. But I accepted him because knowing how my parents feel about pets, I didn't think they would really treat him very well or give him the attention they needed when they moved out of country if they took him with him. And I didn't want him to be lonely and neglected or potentially run into issues, especially because there were going to be like exotic lizards and stuff on those other places. And he's an outdoor cat. My sister's cat, she moved out there with them, and they now live on different Caribbean islands, my sister and my parents. But her cat's more of an indoor cat, so that like wasn't very worrying at all, because like her cat almost won't even go outside. But Charlie, he begs to go outside. He shits outside like a dog. So I just decided to keep him here with me. And at first he was really fucking annoying. Because one, my parents spend a lot of time just sitting on the couch watching TV and stuff. So he always had someone to cuddle with him. And also, he had like 3 cat friends there. 2 definite friends and one that I think he kind of knew that he would hang out with when he went outside. And here, there's at least 1 cat around. I haven't seen him yet this summer, but I saw them last fall. There might be 2 cats that I saw last fall, but I haven't seen them yet this summer. So, and the neighbor, who's one of my cousins actually, has this big, massive, scary dog. Not a mean dog at all. Just one of those dogs that will easily knock down a person. Just because it gets kind of excited. Super friendly dog, but also a dog that loves to play and chase. And Charlie, just seeing this big human-sized dog coming at it, there's no way he's gonna chill and make sure that it's a friendly dog, right? He's just gone. So he after the first time that my neighbor's dog chased him, he wouldn't go outside for like 2 weeks. But he's fine now. I think maybe they kind of get along a little bit, or at least Charlie's been accustomed to the dog. But I haven't seen them interact since then. But Charlie has no problem going outside now. But for the first like 2 or 3 months we were here, he would just beg and whine and bother me constantly. And I was not doing well mentally myself. Like, this has been one of the biggest trials of my life. Just because there were a lot of goalposts that got moved on me. Some broken promises. And it's just been really frustrating to make everything work up here. And then I had this fucking cat whining and bothering me the whole time. But you know, eventually he calmed down. I got my head on straight. And now I know that if anything were to happen to him, I'd really miss him. I'd be pretty damn lonely up here all by myself. He's like 4 years old, so I hope he does. Oh yeah, if he's only 4 years old, then I hope he definitely pulls through. But I've always had a weird approach to death too. Death doesn't really make me sad. It like doesn't bother me at all in the way it bothers normal people, because I just see it as a natural part of life. I believe we're all intimately connected, and I see death kind of as a happy thing because they're returning to the source. So just to wrap this up in a nutshell, this is all pretty deep shit that's from years and years of experience at just surviving shit. But I believe first of all, I believe in this theory of universal consciousness, which is that all matter has some type of consciousness, and the complexity of the consciousness is a function of the complexity of the matter. So that means that, like, even this microphone, this desk, this chair has potentially a level of consciousness, but whether or not it's a level of self-awareness or anything like that is something else entirely. And organic matter, being organic in nature and constantly shifting and moving, because you don't realize this, but your body is not the same body you had several years ago. It's literally entirely new cells. So it's a constantly evolving, chaotic matter creation, which creates a constantly evolving, chaotic consciousness. You're basically an entire universe yourself. So because of that, you have a far more advanced consciousness. Now, when a cell in your body dies, do you notice? The answer obviously is no. You're not even aware of the cells of your body. They're just part of you. And so, on the same level, the way I view the universe, we're all just individual cells of the universe. And what happens when that cell of the body dies? Well, it gets reabsorbed into the body, broken down into its constituent parts, and remade into a new cell. So every death is also a rebirth. So for me, I think death is something beautiful and interesting to look forward to, because, but not in like the self-destruction kind of way, just in there's no reason to fear it kind of way. I believe when we pass, we get reconnected to those who have gone before us, and we may finally know all the answers. I feel like the questions we have in life are because we're alive. And if there are ever any answers, it's through death, but not a forced death, right? Because there's a difference between a violent death and a peaceful death. But you can have a peaceful death in a violent manner, right? I would say, in a way, the firefighters that sacrificed, and police officers and EMTs that sacrificed their lives in 9/11, that was a violent death in a peaceful manner, right? They weren't destroying themselves, they were sacrificing themselves. So I see death as a beautiful state of returning to where we came from. So it's definitely hard, especially with young deaths, you know? But it's not something that really brings me down at all. at least in like, I feel sad. Definitely, there's a man in particular used to be part of the youth group. He was one of the youth group leaders. The parents of one of the guys in my Boy Scout troop, and I knew his one son, and I actually met his other younger son at the bar like a couple months or a month or two before this happened. And as I got older, when I started working at the bar, at a different bar as a line cook, his dad used to be one of my favorite people to come in, usually later in the night after he was done working. As time was slowing up, it was coming to the end of my shift, so there often wasn't many people ordering food. So I'd just come out of the kitchen and I'd hang out by the end of the bar and talk to him. And when he passed away, that definitely made me really sad, to be sure. But I still see it as a beautiful thing because that man lived with a lot of pain. And he isn't experiencing any of that pain anymore. I believe that for him, the pain is gone now. So, I don't know if that helped. Like, that's just the way I see life and death. It's a inevitable cycle. And fighting against it only makes the pain worse for everyone. But that also doesn't mean we should seek it out, because that creates its own type of pain. That's probably way worse than fighting against death. So, I really hope the dog recovers. But if it doesn't, I don't see it as the end of the world. I see it as the beginning of a new world. Which, maybe I'm wrong. I could always be wrong. Let's see. It won't let me... I'm trying to figure out how to get chat on my phone when I switch the stream over to my phone, so I can go paint the basement real quick. And then we'll come back to the game after I do that. It won't let me... What's the damn app I've been using? It's called Prima something? Prima? I'm pretty sure we already saved that video. Prism. Prism Live. Is there a way to get the multi-chat on my phone while streaming? So that is one thing. I want to try. If something went wrong, please refresh, reconnect, or try again. Okay. We might need to reconnect to Grok. Yeah, it's Grok is being ornery. Not ornery. That's not the right word. I mean, I guess it's kind of the right word. Isn't there a way? How do I do like split screen? Let's do it with the browser. I know I can do it with the browser. It won't let me. Is that like something that's been turned off? Or am I just wrong and that's something that was on the Google phone that I can't do on this? Run to apps at once pixel. Utilize the split screen feature. You can access this by swiping up from the bottom of the screen, holding, then tapping split screen on the apps icon and recent apps view. That just made it disappear. I think Google's lying to me. Open the app. From the bottom of your screen, oh, swipe up on home button. Settings. Oh, I don't have gestures turned on. Gestures fuck all kinds of shit up. Dude, why in every... Dude, I just miss my... I miss my Android. I mean, my real Android. My Galaxy. Press and hold power button. Flip to quick tap. Start actions. Tap to check phone. None of these exist. Power and hold button. This is not right. Oh, it's a Pixel 2 or Pixel... Yeah. On your phone, open an app. I don't want to play a video. That's picture in picture. Swipe up from the bottom of your screen to the top. Open an app. From the bottom of your screen, swipe up, then hold, then let go. That does nothing. That's super old. Two years ago, maybe. What's sad is it used to be so much easier. Just hold the multitasking button. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, open a couple of apps, go to App Switcher, hold down on the app's icon. Above the preview app, tap split top. Then select the other app from the app switcher. Slide the middle bar up or down. Dude, this was so way easier on a... there we go. Okay. So can I do it with this app? No. Okay. Damn it. It won't let me split that app. Okay. Well, that's not a viable solution. Let me see. Will Grok answer my question now? Okay, yeah, it's gonna answer this time. Let's see. Okay. Prism's limitations are rooted in its design, Restream's API. Prism's chat feature. Prism can access platform-specific data because RT not a chat API. Restream aggregates. Web sources confirmed. No Restream. Display multi-chat on your phone while streaming. Since Prism can't show Restream, you'll use a secondary app or browser on your phone to display it. Does that cancel the stream though? God, I swear to God, Grok's getting stupider. Grok used to be smart, but something has happened that it's getting dumber now. Alright. So, I need to just make my own AI at this point, right? Or get one of those kind of open source AI models and train it myself. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and switch to the phone. Now, I'm going to see if there's a way to get the... I'm going to see if there's a way to get the... I'm going to see if there's a way to get the chat on the phone, but don't worry, I will have chat on screen while I'm in this room, and I shouldn't be too long. It's going to take me less than an hour to paint the room. Probably 30 minutes for the coat. I'm not sure. We'll see. But we're going to add the OBS stream real quick, switch to the phone, and then I'm going to see if there's a way to get chat up on the phone without canceling the stream. But I'm going to be here in the studio for the beginning part of it, so I can still respond to chat. We're going to go ahead and pause the stream real quick, switch to the phone, and then